Greetings, EastEnders fans, and welcome to another episode of Albert Square After Dark, your weekly EastEnders podcast. This week, discussing the episodes broadcast between the 22nd to the 25th of September 2025. Hello there, sorry we're late. I went and had a life for a day, I do apologise. Went up to Newcastle, up the lasses, yes. Hello Ree, how are you this week?
I'm all right, Rob. How are you? How was Newcastle?
It was good, yeah. Pets. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, it wasn't like when I went to Cardiff. I mean, no offense to anyone who lives in Newcastle, but when I went to Cardiff, I was sort of like, oh my god, this place is gorgeous. I want to live here immediately. Didn't get that vibe from Newcastle. Like, it's a big city, so maybe I didn't scratch away at all the surface. So I was only there for a couple of days, but it was nice. It was nice, but just not
like every city in the UK, Rob. That's all right.
Exactly.
We'll love them. You liked it. You didn't love it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Right. Didn't hate it. Although my mate did take me to St James's Park. This is how much I know about football, right? When he said, "Oh, I just want to go to St James's Park," I was expecting an actual park. I thought he was going to take me to some sort of nature place, when in fact I found myself standing outside a football stadium. Imagine my disappointment.
Do you know what? When you just said that, I thought, oh, I've never been to St James's Park, and I thought, isn't that where a football team played? I didn't even click, and I knew that, so I would have done the same. So
there you go.
I bet that's fun for you then.
Yeah, apparently football is like a religion in Newcastle. So if you're into sport, move to Newcastle. Up the lasses, yes. Have you ever been to Newcastle?
I have, Robert. I have. I didn't go again after my last trip, actually.
Why?
I don't know if I told you this before. Right.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Just want to clarify this, okay? I literally did nothing. So I went to see my friend who she still lives in Newcastle.
Right.
And we went for a night out, and I was with another friend, and I was actually really poorly, right? Robert, you know me.
I do, right?
If I want a drink, I'll have a drink. I was that ill, I was drinking water, and highly regretted going there. Yeah, I was poorly.
You would push through pneumonia to have a shot. So yeah,
honestly, and this is about what 10, 15 years ago. Oh. So I'm stood at this bar in Newcastle, ordering a tap water, right?
Right.
And there's this bunch of lads next to me. They've ordered a bottle of champagne. They're shaking it about, and some of it goes on me. And I were a bit like, okay, but And he came over and he apologised. And he went, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to. I'm not going to do a Geordie accent. I'm so sorry, pet."
Yes.
That was an accident. I'm really, really sorry. We were just celebrating something. Could I get you a drink to say sorry? And I'm like, "No, it's fine. I'm fine. Thank you." Though.
Nice response, though. Nice response.
Yeah. This other guy comes up to me and goes, Did he just spill that drink all over you, this champagne?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine, don't worry though." He's apologised. He's like, "No, that's not on, that's not on." Walks over to him, punched him, knocked him straight out unconscious.
Bloody hell.
And I was like, and then I'm thinking, everyone's going to think this is because of me. Like,
you're causing trouble again, no matter where you go. This is how Geordie Shore started. I think this is what I mean.
Geordie Shore.
I know you do. Yeah, it's just right up your.
Well, yeah. So that was my last visit to Newcastle.
Scared off.
Ended up having to give a statement to police. We had to wait for an ambulance. And I'm like, and you know what? This champagne, by the way, there were barely any on me. Like a little splash. The guy was so apologetic. But the thing is, this guy goes up, punches him. But there were like a metal pole behind him, so he banged his head on it completely. Yeah, my friend's boyfriend was a lifeguard, so he's there performing all this like first aid on him. We're all like, "Oh my god, what do we do?" Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, that was my last experience of Newcastle.
So now we've given a great promotion for Newcastle's travel guides. Should we get on with this week's Albert Square After Dark?
Go on then. Yeah,
let's crack on. So we have got quite a lot to talk about this week, including some theories going around. Theories everywhere for this week because Ben Wasey made the somewhat unwise decision to say we're doing something we've not done before, and doing that to the EastEnders fans takes you into weird and wonderful territory, I would say.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that, Rob.
Yeah, so let's start theorising on this week's Albert Square After Dark. Right, let's kick off this week with talking about the first of two new arrivals, this being Jasmine. This girl is mysterious, Rihanna, I would argue. She's very, very mysterious.
She is very mysterious. One would maybe call her a mysterious girl.
So she arrives on the square. The first indication we have of her is that Oscar has found her on a dating app. And he's kind of... Oscar falls very quickly for Jasmine, doesn't he? Daddy's influence here, I would argue.
Ah, yeah, interesting. Yeah. We've not seen him like this because normally he's quite blasé, isn't he, about
Yeah,
his like hookups, but this Jasmine seems to have, yeah.
it's interesting with sort of bisexuality representation on soaps because actually, if you talk to a lot of bisexuals that I've ever spoken to have said that they are attracted to both, but they tend to have more emotional feelings towards one or the other. So I wonder if they're going to sort of
Yeah,
explore that sort of thing with it.
they tend to prefer a relationship with one gender over the other
Yeah,
one
I
kind
mean,
of thing.
obviously
Yeah.
that's
That's a
not.
massive generalization,
Yeah, of
of
course
course,
it
yeah.
is, but it is a thing that does happen
Yeah.
sometimes with
Yeah.
bisexuals. So I wonder if they're going to sort of go down that road with him. But anyway,
Potentially.
he seems to instantly become quite smitten with Jasmine. Jasmine is job hunting. Okay, so
Yes.
she wanders into the Albert, instantly decides, "Oh, I need to work here." Is this how it works? Like, so put it like this, right? You are a bar person. You're a bar person in charge of your bar.
Yes.
Jasmine walks in and does what she does this week. Do you give her a job?
Absolutely not. But I'm not Cindy. I'd be like, red flag, red flag, red
You
flag.
cananas.
You're gonna be causing trouble. No
Didn't she
way.
just? She
Yeah.
literally gets
Well,
Freddie sacked.
Elaine said same, didn't she? Elaine's
Yeah.
like, absolutely not. Yeah.
And the fact
Cindy
is,
though, she loves it.
yeah, this is it. Cindy like knows full well what she did with Freddie and the lipstick and everything, but wanted to sack Freddie anyway. And it's just like the cut of your jib. Yeah, you're hired. You're fired.
Yeah.
Sorted. Now with Jasmine, okay, obviously, when we found out that Zoe has a mysterious daughter somewhere, new arrivals of the age that Jasmine is, we're going to be watching like a hawk, right? I'm going
Yeah.
to just say straight off, I think this is a red herring.
Well, you don't think that Jasmine is anything to do with
I
Zoe?
think it's too obvious.
It
And
would
too
be too
soon, actually.
obvious.
And too soon, actually, as well.
I agree. I feel like it's a red herring, but it's a good red herring because nonetheless everyone's talking about it.
There are
Or could
so...
it be that it's so obvious that it is?
It could be a double bluff, right? Of course it
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There are so many theories going on around this whole Zoe's daughter
Yep.
thing at the moment, right? For starters, I think that Jasmine is actually more to do with Cindy. I got the impression that she was really
Yes.
interested in Cindy. She's
I've
in
got a theory on
boards.
this. Oh,
Oh, was that
damn,
what you were going
that's
to
what I thought
say?
was my great theory. Yeah, because I actually haven't seen this. I know maybe you've seen people saying it, but to me, it seems really obvious that she's part of the Fords. She didn't want to give her ID to Elaine.
So what we know about the
She's
Fords is
literally
that...
Jasmine Ford.
Well, the thing is, apparently Jackie Ford was the very last of the Fords. But I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. It could be sort of... She could be anybody, but I feel like she was
Yeah.
very interested in Cindy. She seemed very interested in Cindy's story.
Yes, very
Especially
much
when the
so.
whole notion of fake death came up. She seemed
And
very
her
interested in
face
that.
changed. It
Yeah,
dropped, didn't it? As soon as
yeah.
Cindy turned away, she was like, "Oh, if that's true, you're iconic." Yeah, and then Cindy turned away, and it was like, "Don't know."
Yeah, I think she's
She's there for
connected to...
Cindy.
Yeah, I think
I
she's there for
agree.
Cindy. But let me tell you, the theories that are kicking off around this, right? So the first of all is the fact that Jasmine has transitioned. So she used to be Zoe's
Yes.
son and she's now Zoe's daughter. That's
Yeah, I've
one
seen
theory.
this.
I don't know
Sure.
if I don't know if the actor play, and I'm saying actor because apparently that you don't say actress anymore. Apparently,
No,
that's a
you don't.
separate
It's
thing.
just actor, yeah.
Ray, I still call my Switch a Game Boy, so I'm rubbish with things like this.
Wait, why would you not call it that? Because it's a
Because it's...
completely different console.
Yes, it's not been called
Got
a
ya.
Game Boy since Jesus's dog was a puppy.
Well, I
But
didn't even know that either, Rob, so don't
there
worry
you go.
about it.
There you go. But anyway, as far as I'm aware, I did a little bit of looking online. I mean, it's nothing to do with me, so if it's not out there, then that's absolutely fine. But I couldn't see anything that the actor was trans, and I have a
Okay, yeah.
thing. I think you're not. I don't think you cast non-trans people in trans roles these days. That's not a
I mean,
thing.
you can. I guess
You
they could do what they
shouldn't.
want. But yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah. I
So I feel
mean,
like that's
sure,
not.
sure not. Yeah, but to be fair, if that does end up being what it is, then maybe they are keeping it stum if the actor
Maybe,
is.
maybe,
Who
but I
knows?
feel like I'm leaning towards it's not that.
I'm
If I'm
leaning
perfectly honest with
towards
you.
it's not that also, but it is EastEnders and anything's possible, so sure, why
Well,
not?
exactly.
Maybe.
The other thing that I've seen is, and I can't even pronounce this, heteropaternal superfecundation. You know what that is?
You are.
Yeah. This is when twins have different fathers. Now, this apparently requires Zoe to have had
Okay.
sex with two different blokes within the, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
5 day window.
Yes. I was going to say
Right?
gestation, but that's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it can take 5 days for the sperm to meet the egg, I think. Something like
Hi,
that.
I'm sperm, you're egg, nice to meet you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you have sex with two different people within that window, apparently this can occur where two twins can have two different fathers.
Yeah.
None other than Mercedes McQueen in Hollyoaks had this quite
Yeah.
recently. So
Yeah. With Vincent.
with Vincent,
With one of the
exactly.
fathers, Richard
Oh,
Blackwood, yeah.
it's all getting tied together, right? So I don't know about that.
I
It seems
mean,
apparently it's a
sure.
ridiculously rare thing. So for two soaps to do it in
Yeah.
the same year seems insane.
Although, to be fair, Zoe has been saying, like, there's numerous people who could have been the father. That's what she said to Kat, whether that were true or not.
We'll discuss
So,
Zoe later because I have much to
yeah.
say about Miss Slater, let me tell you.
I mean, sure, why not? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't be impressed with that, if I'm honest with you, as being a result. Like you say, we've had it in Hollyoaks recently. It's such a
this
rare
is
thing.
all. This is all because Ben Waite has said that they're doing something they haven't done before. So that opens the floodgates to every theory that's ever been created
Of
in terms of what
course.
could be
Yeah.
possible, which is fine. And I don't have any objection to it because it means that the fans really sort of like go crazy and let their imaginations run wild and become really connected to the story and the characters.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
So is it that EastEnders haven't done it before, or soap hasn't done it before?
He just said we haven't done it before, I think.
So
So
he's
I feel
saying
like,
basically,
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens there. In terms of Jasmine, though, I don't think she's connected to Zoe whatsoever. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, do we 100% know? Are you 100% convinced that the baby that we saw in the flashback was mixed heritage?
No, I'm not convinced at
Are you
all.
not? Because I didn't. When I
No.
first watched it, I didn't think the baby was.
So there's a thing, right? Because I've seen a few people commenting on this online about how it was definitely not dual heritage,
Hmm.
dual heritage child, because they look too white. However, did you see how white my daughter was when she was born?
Yeah, she
Like,
was. She was.
to the point that I thought people aren't going to believe that I'm her mum because she was so fair. And she
Yeah.
still is fairly fair, but
Yeah.
babies can, like, just for this theory so that people can go, no, it's definitely not. Actually, babies can be born a lot fairer than they end up,
Mm.
eventually becoming. Like, my daughter's quite olive skin now, I'd say.
And vice
So,
versa as well.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And also, do you know what you can have? I've seen couples like online, obviously my algorithms give me all the dual heritage things, and
Mm.
I've seen couples where they've got, maybe a black father, white mother, and the child you would think was white, to be
Mm.
fair. Like, it
Mm.
can happen.
Mm.
So I don't think just because the baby might not have looked, darker at the time when first been born, still doesn't rule Anthony out or anybody else
Or
of colour being
or
the father.
okay. Because I just say or okay. I just want to throw that one
What,
out there.
being the father? Oh, the
No.
child. Right.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think.
because
By
we've
the way,
not seen Oki a lot since all of this, have we? He seems to have.
here's the thing. I don't think it necessarily is Oki. All right. I think I probably came across as like it's Oki. I'm adamant that it's Oki. I'm not adamant at all that it's Oki. Trust me. I'm not adamant at all. But it's just a theory, and it seems. And when we're in this sort of mindset, anything could happen. It basically is
Yeah.
is what my thinking is. But as far as Jasmine's concerned, I think we're both fairly not adamant, but we're fairly sure that she's connected to Cindy in some way.
No,
I
I'm
think.
adamant.
Are
I'm
you
adamant
adamant?
that she's connected
You're
to
actually. Are you
Cindy.
using the A word? Are you using
I'm
the A
saying
word?
it. I'm adamant. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going there. Yeah,
Well,
it's
her and
Cindy.
Oscar.
She's for Cindy. It's got to be.
Yeah. Well, her and Oscar are quite quickly get close to the point where Oscar appears to be stealing things for her.
I didn't click that he'd stolen it.
Oh yeah, like he was like I think I forgot the inclination was that he'd gone and nicked a necklace for her and then nicked something else for her.
Oh, I didn't realise he'd nicked it. I remember her saying something because I thought she would just take it mixed. She was running down like holding a jacket and she was like, oh,
Mm.
you don't need to steal things from me. I thought it was a joke. I didn't
Oh, I
realise that he actually
oh
then went,
I thought I think that he was stealing things for her. To be honest,
oh, well. Did you notice his t-shirt? I absolutely loved that t-shirt.
no. What was
It
that?
had three pictures of wells on it and said, well, well, well. I was like, that's so Oscar.
I need one.
Love
I need one
that.
of them. I quite like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, all right. So our theory is that she's to do with Cindy. I think
Yeah.
just the way that you're right. Like there was looks and like
Mhm.
moments, and she
Well,
seemed
they're
very,
trying to
very
make us think
interested.
that for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
why else they'd do that, though.
I think she's too obvious to be Zoe, is what I would
I
say. I think
agree.
it's too soon since it was revealed because they know that we're going to be watching everything now to like
Yeah.
see if we can work it out before they reveal it. All right. Yes, there is mysterious stuff going on with Jasmine. We don't know a huge amount about her,
Mhm.
and it's kind of weird that she's just sort of shown up on the square on her own. But then I think
Yes.
that leans more into the Cindy theory than anything else as well.
I agree, and maybe it's not directly the Fords, but like I'm sure the Fords were mixed up with other people, and maybe she's a relative of somebody else who maybe got entwined with
Mm.
Cindy snitched on Jackie Ford,
Yeah,
so it could be somebody else who was
yeah.
snitched on when she did that, and she's their child or something.
I did always think, to be honest, that the Ford stuff was going to rear its head again one day.
Yeah, you can't just. Well, I know that she died in that, but yeah, it feels like it was
Yeah.
supposed to be part of this big criminal
Well, this is the other
network.
thing. If
So,
the Fords all, I mean, I know that they're saying the Fords are all gone. All right, I don't
mm.
think they can know that for sure. All right, I don't think we can take that as written. We haven't seen any
Well,
dead
she's not
bodies.
got. She didn't have a cousin or something, or a sibling of some kind who's then had
Exactly.
children. Who,
And the fact
yeah,
that Jasmine became very interested in the idea that Cindy had faked her death, I think
yeah,
also lends
yeah.
itself to lends itself to that train
What if
of
she's one of
thought.
Cindy's secret children?
But I mean,
Another one.
bless Cindy. Her reproductive organs must be held together with sellotape by this point.
I know when she said I got so confused at first when she said I've got 4 kids, 2 gone. I'm like,
Yeah,
how have you got 4?
Stephen.
And they're like, oh yeah, Anna and
Yeah,
Gina.
yeah,
Forgot about them
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's a busy
Oh, do you know
girl.
another theory I wondered actually with
Go on.
Jasmine? I think I'm clutching at straws with this one, but
Never.
we've not seen Junior is around because I remember seeing him in a scene like last week.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
did wonder, could she be Junior's mum's daughter, like is another half sister of
Sabrina.
his?
Sabrina's daughter,
Yeah,
you reckon?
Sabrina's
Could
daughter.
be.
Could she have had another child,
Could be.
which is Jasmine, and she found out about Junior and Cindy, and maybe she's upset about that or something? I wondered
Could
if there were a
be.
Junior link potentially.
Could be. But I think we can officially say we are adamant that she has nothing to do with Zoe, yes?
Yes, adamant it's all Cindy related. We're going
There
to
you
be
go.
so wrong.
So, the second of two arrivals this week is Demi. Now then, this. So,
I
Demi.
roll
Well,
for
I
anyone who's
mean.
listening.
I don't necessarily mean eye roll. I just think that she's
I
a.
was.
Were you not a fan of Demi then?
No, move on. Oh, are you? Do you know what? I'm not a fan of any of it. I can't believe that Lauren was so okay with it.
Well, I was going to ask you. So this happens in your relationship, right?
It wouldn't.
It
Let's just get
wouldn't
that started. It would never happen in a million years, Robert. No,
really,
yeah.
Anna.
I would not be like Lauren. Don't
She
make
was
sense.
she was very very well. This makes me wonder where we're actually going with this storyline. But let's start at
You
the start,
don't
right?
think.
Well, so Peter takes Jimmy to a sensory class where he
Yeah.
meets Demi. Now Demi,
Yes.
forward, isn't she? Quite forward. I
This
got
is what I
the
mean when you know that
yeah
somebody's got a partner. Back
yeah
off.
yeah she
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, Peter and Jimmy end up having a, and I quote, a punami disaster.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had many of these.
Yeah, it's fully a term that parents use, punami. It's fully a thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh
I've
god,
had a
yeah,
few
yeah,
punamis.
yeah.
But I'm always prepared. You're always
Yes,
prepared for a
he
punami. It can
wasn't
happen at
amazingly
any
prepared.
time.
Wasn't amazingly
No, he
prepared,
wasn't
was he?
prepared.
So
No.
I imagine the whole thing is that you have to take like a whole new outfit wherever you go.
About 3 when you're
Yeah,
that young,
yeah,
honestly, at all times.
yeah, about 28 nappies as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why they're called diaper bags, aren't they? Nappy
Well,
bags. It's just
exactly,
full of nappies and spare clothes. You never know when it's
exactly.
going to hit.
So yeah, Jimmy has a disaster, and because Peter isn't organised like that, Demi ends up lending him an outfit for Jimmy to
Yeah.
wear, and so by that they exchange numbers, and then I mean it's quite clear quite quickly that Demi has a thing for Peter, and I would argue Peter had a thing for Demi as well.
Oh, I didn't think that he did. I think you
See,
were a bit like, but
oh, see, now I think he did because
Oh.
well, put it like this: Demi arranges. They arrange to go for a drink together. For a start of, he's telling Lauren that Demi's a bloke, so that Lauren doesn't kick off.
Well, he didn't tell her
But he
that
doesn't
she was a
correct her.
bloke.
He
She
doesn't.
assumed, and yeah, you're
Yeah,
correct. But yeah,
but
yeah,
then when they've been for this drink together, and Demi's being quite flirtatious and everything like that, a little bit touchy feely, touching his hand and all that kind of thing. I think what happened next was the fact that she kind of frenzied Peter into such a state of horniness that he had to immediately run home and shag Lauren.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, that is true, actually. Yeah. Yeah, no, you might have a point then. Yeah. I did think, like, why's that meeting made you want to go and sleep with
That's
Lauren?
why Peter got
Ah, yeah, yeah.
horny. Yes, and that's why Lauren then had the evening of her life, it would transpire.
And it was because he was thinking
Yeah,
about
he was
somebody
all pent
else.
up.
Yeah,
Yes,
fair.
yeah, I
Okay, yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
But So Penny sees the two of them together and is immediately sort of like, well, that looks dodgy. So confronts Peter with this, and Peter's sort of like, yeah, no, you're right. This is bad. This is bad. I can't do it. You know, this is bad. But please don't tell Lauren. All right, I'll sort it. I'll sort it. I'll sort it. Then at Johnny's party, Lauren sees a text message from Demi with kisses on the end and all of that kind of thing. Like clearly, there's an element of flirtation even to the text message.
The girl whose name you've never heard of.
Yeah, you'd go, hey,
who's Demi?
Yeah, exactly. Lauren couldn't give a shit, it would transpire. She does not mind this at all. And as it transpires, she quite likes the idea of other girls fancying Peter.
Yeah, yeah.
Not something you share, no?
I mean, each to their own, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, I just think that... So then Penny kind of steals Lauren's phone and they meet up with Demi, the three of them. Penny's all sort of like a guard dog. Well, Lauren literally is just sort of like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I don't blame you for fancying him. I'm beginning to wonder if this is going into some sort of polyamory type direction.
Thruple?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wondered if you meant thruple or some... Maybe. I kind of hope not. I feel like Lauren and Peter need to just be Lauren and Peter or not. Lauren and Peter, do you know
put it like this. I don't think that their relation... You have to be in a very solid relationship for something like that to work.
Well, this is it, because on one hand I was thinking, well, she clearly trusts him. Like, you can see that she's, like, fair. Lauren really trusts Peter. But I did think, if it were old Peter, you wouldn't be trusting him.
Oh, right? No. And to be fair, if it was old Peter, they'd have had sex already. Let's be real.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't... I actually kind of almost think that Lauren was almost out of character with how much she was fine with it.
I agree, but then a part of me wondered, are we supposed to think that Lauren doesn't care because she just isn't bothered about Peter? Because he kept being like, shouldn't she care? Shouldn't she care? Does it show to us that actually she's just like, oh, well, it's just Peter, innit? Like, it's just Peter. He's like a pair of slippers. I'm not actually that bothered. Really? Yeah. Is it that?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, Demi is this is the other thing. Demi is a burlesque stripper, or whatever the hell she is. Like, she's like, yeah, like there's pictures of her, like in really provocative outfits online. Like, if you saw that girl was messaging your partner, you would be ripping people's hair out. I
wouldn't be meeting up for a coffee and being like, oh yeah, it's fine, yeah. Actually, yeah. Here's his Instagram. Why don't you send him a couple of secret DMs and go for a drink with him without me if you want? Like, that's pretty much the vibe it kind of was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this is what makes me think that we're actually kind of delving into some sort of relationship, sort of thruple, polyamory, open relationship type thing with this. Because it just seems mad that Lauren is so fine with this for no reason.
Yeah.
Unless this is leading somewhere.
Well, or is it just that they wanted to write Demi in, who's going to end up being Zoe's daughter? Another theory we've seen. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's a bit older, but we don't actually know how old she is. To be fair, she could be 19. Or was this all just a plot to lead to Peter wanting to arrange a spontaneous wedding, which is what he surmises is the right thing to do by the end of the week?
Yeah, so he talks to Ian and Kathy about this. Ian, being his usual helpful self, is just like, well, yes, you're my son. There's no wonder you've got women falling at your feet. I have to it all the time.
The Beale genes, clearly.
The Beale genes, absolutely. And so Peter decides that he's going to surprise Lauren because she says to him, yeah, you're hot and the sex is great and I'm not surprised Demi fancies you. You could be more romantic though. So Peter's response to that is to say, right, well, okay, I'll just plan a surprise wedding. Again, something else that I don't think, surprise wedding, does that sound good to you? It's a bit Don't Tell the Bride, isn't it?
No, and I don't think Lauren would be. But then again, like, I don't think Lauren will be okay with that though, actually. Because, like, what? Surely she's not picked a dress or anything.
No.
Like, no. When you watch Don't Tell the Bride, you think, God,
you're all mad. You're all mad. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It is funny, and it depends how much the wedding day means to you, I guess. But I feel like Lauren, the wedding day would mean a bit more than letting Peter organise it.
Honestly, that show, I would be amazed if even 3% of those people are still together at this stage.
I know somebody who went on it, actually, and they're still very much together.
How did their wedding go?
Well, the thing is, it's the guy who I know. He's quite eccentric, but his wife is like so laid back that I kind of see it. We've joked about it before, and my partner said that he would try and hire the Queen Vic. That is what he said he would try and do for a wedding day.
That is right. Well, can we get your wedding on Don't Tell the Bride, please? Because then
that would happen. But I like your thinking. I like the ambition. I would love a reception at Queen Vic.
This is how we get. This is how we get into the Queen Vic, right? All right. So you need to apply to go. Is it even still on that show?
Don't tell the brat. It moved to.
It was an E4 at one point, wasn't it?
It was, because it was BBC originally. See, if it had still been on BBC, I might have had a chance.
Oh, they'd have known. Would have been fine then.
Then I can't now because I've just said that I know what he would have planned. Oh, I would hate that though. Oh, I'd really.
Do you know what? I can't stand EastEnders. I think that's the worst show in the world. Yeah.
EastEnders wedding.
Anyway, so that's that on that really. I mean, spoiler siren. Max is back next week.
Oh, I just dropped my cup. Brilliant. Yes. So that's when the wedding's going to be. Wow.
Yes.
Fair play to Peter for organising a wedding that quickly, because that's why he's back, right? That's why Max is coming back.
Yeah. I mean, they do in Walford, don't they? I mean, Oscar managed to get that whole thing sorted quite quickly with Patrick and Yolanda's wedding. Yeah, there's a history of they're good at doing weddings in Walford. So Max is back next week. So we have a double Simon Ashdown for that, and I have a feeling that's probably when Stacey's leaving as well. So I think it's all going to get done in the in all of that sort of thing. So that's going to be fun. So the surprise wedding. I feel like they might get married, but then that's all just going to sort of be brushed aside in order for the Max and Zoe stuff to really kind of pick up and go off in that direction.
Oh, will they get married, or will Lauren be fuming that he's organised?
Well, the way it's going, Lauren's probably going to ask Demi to be bridesmaid or something like that.
Yeah, maid of honour.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're weak, but you're great.
Yeah, love her.
She might perform.
Might do.
She might be the entertainment.
There's numerous people for Max to start having affairs with when he gets there.
Cindy, please, we need to see Max and Cindy. Come on.
Of course. Right, speaking of Stacey, let's have a quick chat about her, because it seems that we have discovered what her exit storyline is going to be. On to Stacey. So, Brazil?
Oh, God.
Brazil.
Yeah. Come on.
Right, can I just say, though, I think I prefer this to some of the mad Stacey exit storylines we've had in recent years, where she's on the run or where she's been sent to prison or anything like that. I actually don't mind the idea of Stacey just deciding, do you know what? I'll see you later. I'm done with this madness and going off.
Brazil? Why Brazil? I feel like Italy would have felt a bit more realistic.
Yeah, I don't know why Sean's opened a restaurant in Brazil, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, was Sean ever a chef? Do we ever known the Sean to be cooking and all that kind of thing?
No, I don't know. Actually, I don't recall him ever being.
Kyle.
I could see it for him, though. I could see it.
I can see it for him. Kyle was a chef. Remember Kyle?
No, it was Kyle. We've all forgotten about Kyle.
Yeah, but Kyle was a chef, so that that would have made. But Sean has opened a restaurant. Yeah, but that's not what we got, because Carl's never going to get mentioned ever again. So, Sean's opened a restaurant in Brazil, and Stacey has, and he's been messaging Stacey and saying, come to Brazil then, and come and help me open this restaurant. Bring the kids. I don't know. And also, can I just say, they have, in Brazil, the world's deadliest spider. That alone.
Of course you know that.
Of course I know that.
Some spiders.
Know your enemy, Ree. That's what you need to do. Know your enemy.
Yeah.
The Brazilian wandering spider, it's called, and it's an aggressive little shit. Let me tell you, like this is the one that comes across in bananas and bites people.
Oh, right. Because what's all this about? You should take the end of bananas off, right? Because the spider's eggs in them.
Yeah.
You heard this?
Can I just say, I don't have bananas in my house for that exact reason.
Because you're so scared of the spider eggs.
I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Fair.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Rob does hate spiders, in case you've not gathered by now. Literally.
I would literally not care if people always say, but they eat all the pests. It's true. Pests. No, I don't.
All the time,
I will deal with the pests. I would rather be drowning in flies than have to meet a single spider. That's my decision, but there we go. Anyway, so Stacey is kind of in two minds about, do I go to Brazil? Do I not go to Brazil? She mentions it to Lily, and Lily's like, we're going to Brazil. That's an amazing idea. Yeah, we're going to Brazil. That's great. But that kind of leaves the issue, right? Well, we need to tell some people, and some people aren't going to like this. Jean, for a start, I feel so sorry for Jean, because she was like, "Oh, I gotta go to Brazil," and Sean has literally told Stacey, "No, we're not. Mum's not invited. You can't bring
whatever.
Don't bring Mum."
You can totally imagine Sean saying,
"Oh yeah, 100% you can. 100% you can." But bless her, she was heartbroken, wasn't she?
I know it would have felt a bit less if Jean had been like, Oh, that's a great opportunity for you, Stacey. I don't want to go there. Then it might have been a bit
Yeah,
like, yeah,
if Gina
okay.
turned around and say, "You do realise that they've got the world's deadliest spider over there?"
Yeah.
I
I'm
am
all
not
right. I'm
setting.
not coming.
I'm all right, thanks. I'm not setting
Yeah.
foot in that country.
Mm.
But no, she was all up for like retiring there and everything, and Sean specifically stated Jean is not invited, so that's kind of quite
So harsh.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, of course, Lily has to broach the subject to Ricky and thereby Jack. Jack reacts in the most Jack way it's possible to react. Of course he
Yeah.
does. No, I'm not allowing this, as though it's got anything to do with him whatsoever. Has it? Grandfather
Well,
rights? I
no, not
don't think
really.
that.
Not
No,
really,
I don't
no.
think that's a
And
thing.
at the end of the day, it's up to Ricky, isn't it? He is the father, and he was
Of
so
course,
understanding
he
about it and
was.
so mature.
It has been so long since we've seen Ricky. He now has a perm.
Oh yeah, he's always had curly hair. I think he's just like a
Yeah,
slightly
not that
different
cur.
haircut,
Yeah,
so it's a bit
he's got
curlier on the top.
he's got a
Yeah,
lot curlier since we last saw him. I mean, I think it quite suits him.
I think it
But
was nicer.
he was sad about it, and he was kind of like, oh, that's kind of sucks because I like being a dad, and
Yeah,
not that
I
we
like having
don't.
my daughter close by.
Yeah, which is not an unreasonable thing to say, really. I quite enjoy having my daughter like a few doors down. That's quite fun, But he's sort of like, well, if you need to go, I understand it. Kids come first and all that kind of thing. So mature about the whole thing. So
And like
mature.
trusts Lily, that Lily knows what's best for
Yeah.
Charlie and everything. Yeah.
Which I think completely and utterly pulls the rug out from under Lily, where she's like, well, I'm upset, I can't go. I'll
It
go,
makes
possibly couldn't
sense
go.
though. Her response after though, when she was putting it to Stacey as, "Well, I've not got my dad. Why would I take Charlie away from hers?" And that
You can
kind of it
understand,
made
yeah.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah, it does make sense. So the duff at the end of the week, possibly a bit of a weak duff to end the week on, I
Yeah,
thought.
I thought that. I was surprised when we had a duff there. Yeah,
Yeah,
but okay.
was her turning around to Stacey and going, "Well, you're on your own, love. I can't go to Brazil, and neither is Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
So Stacey's going on her own. So this is definitely Stacey's exit
Well,
storyline, and she's
she's
off.
presumably taking Herp and Arthur though with her,
You'd
and
think,
Lily's going to stay with Charlie.
yeah, yeah.
But again, realistically, Stacey would probably say, all right, I'll stay with, my teenage daughter who's got a daughter. But I guess she has got Jean. All right, fine.
I mean, look, here's the problem with this. All right, it's the fact
Yeah.
that actually at the moment Stacey wouldn't want to go anywhere. But unfortunately, Lacey Turner
Yeah,
says
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
off. They need to think of
They
something,
need to
right?
think- Yeah.
And as slightly insane as the whole thing sounds, like I say, I do prefer this to her ending up in prison again or having to go on the run or something like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Like they've done all
I
that with
agree.
Stacey.
I
They've
agree.
done
I just
all
wish
that.
it weren't Brazil. The
It just
Brazil
doesn't-
thing is really bugging me. Like, it could have been and like a European country, even Ireland, just Ireland,
Is that an Irish
across
accent you
the
were just trying to
way.
do there? Was it?
Yeah. No, I weren't trying to do an accent now.
Oh,
I wasn't doing
so.
Ireland.
The word island in your accent makes you sound like you're trying to do an Irish accent.
Did it? Does
Yeah.
it? Ireland.
Yeah,
Ireland.
Yeah.
Maybe I've tried it so many times that it's
yeah,
just
there you
coming
go.
out without me realising.
So I'm assuming that she's gone next week. I mean, like I say, it's a
Yeah.
double Simon Ashdown next week. He loves Stacey and he loves Max, so I feel like
Makes
that.
sense.
And they have to have Stacey and Max meet before Stacey goes, don't they?
They've got to have a quick, shebang, haven't they, before she
Well,
goes,
Stacey
right?
needs to find out about Zoe and Max for a start.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, she's not going to, is she? Unless he comes back, they have a quick, and then she
And
finds out about Zoe.
Zoe walks in or something like that. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Stacey's single and Max is single at the moment. This is the most available either of them have ever been for each other at this point.
Right, but also, all of this with Zoe and Max, well, we'll get to it, I'm sure, in a bit more deep. But, like, it don't make sense how she, like, texts him and is like, 1 minute it's like, leave me alone. Then it's like, come here then. Like, come and save me then. And it's just like, what are you doing, Zoe? But I guess this is what we're supposed to think of Zoe. She's all over shopping.
Oh, I have many
All over
thoughts
shop.
on Zoe, let me tell you.
Okay, I'm excited for this.
So yeah, that's kind of going to be Stacey's exit storyline. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like it's something that I feel like they had to come up with in a way that felt realistic to Stacey. Like I say, to be fair, I doubt Stacey would want to be leaving at all at this point, but I can also understand why she would just be looking around at Walford and thinking, do you know what? I need to be away from this place because it's nothing but trauma for anything. And I'm frankly sick of walking into that pub where so much of my life has been destroyed every single day.
Even though I've paid for it to belong to my family now.
I need to go to a new pub in Brazil where nobody has fallen off the roof, where nobody's been murdered, where I haven't murdered anybody. I just need a fresh start. So I get it. I do get it, but Brazil seems like a very strange sort of like let's go there. Let's say that's where she's going. So that is what it is. Before we get to the big Slater stuff and Sharon's return, exciting. Brief little stuff with Harry and Kim this week. Can you explain to me what the hell Kim was on about when she was talking about brand deals and all of that kind of thing at the start of the week?
What do you mean? What, she's got a brand deal?
This was all on Monday. This was all, yeah, but where? Why? Where did this come? Since when has Kim
Because
been?
She's such an influencer.
Oh, I
she's
see.
She's got so many
right.
followers. Brands are paying her to advertise there. And what were she said? A dessert place.
Yeah, it was like a dessert place. Yeah. Well, either way, she has a camera on top of the car roof. She drives off, and the camera falls off, and she drives over the camera. And so she's like, "Well, I need a new camera." So Howie decides, right, well, I need to get more money then. So Howie has got himself a job delivering, and very quickly realizes, well, I could just take this stuff and sell it, and then I'll have money. And then
I already thought that when you were a postie, remember? I thought he'd stolen Louis' VR headset or something.
Yeah.
Makes sense for him. Again, I don't like all this with Howie, though. I feel like if it was for something a bit more than, like, materialistic reasons, which is, in a sense, what it's for Kim.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a little bit deeper than that because this is about him proving himself to Kim, isn't it, in his mind? I don't even know about masculinity, but it's just about him. I think that conversation that he overheard between Kim and Denise has really, really done something to his head, where he's sort of like, I need to prove myself beyond measure to Kim and provide her with everything that she'd ever wanted, and so this is what I have to do in order to make that happen, I think is his mindset.
Yeah, it just feels like quite a big character switch. Like I feel like his reason should be something a bit more like, I don't know, let's say Denzel's got him in some debt or something. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. And then I'd go, yeah, fair, I can see how desperate he is. But just because he wants to, like, prove himself feels a bit...
I agree. But then I would also argue that up to now, I don't think we've actually had that much character development for Howie.
Yeah, so we don't really know him that well.
No, so it feels like, yes, it does feel like quite a shift for his character. But then at the same time, it's sort of like you look back and think, well, a shift from what? Exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. No, I do get it. Yeah. So maybe he's just been like this all along. We've just not seen it, kind of thing. You can argue. But yeah, where it's gonna go.
Well, I also
Howie needs to leave though. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get what the end game is for this because surely once this all comes out, including the fact that he stole Patrick's money, Kim's gonna want absolutely nothing to do with him. And then what does Howie do after that?
Yeah, this is what I can't figure. Although obviously Denzel would stay around, you'd think anyway. So is that what it's going to be for? I don't know, but it feels quite. Yeah, like you said, what is the end game? We don't know where it's heading towards. That's why.
We shall see. Indeed. Well, we shall see. So, final storyline of the week. This was a mammoth one. It is the return of Sharon and some humdingers of revelations. So, final big storyline of the week. Let me say straight off the bat, I think it's time that I came out and said that I think Zoe Slater is a cow.
Oh, God. Are we supposed to like her?
Right, can I just say also, I'm glad that they're not making her out to be some sort of tragic angel because she's never been that. And I've actually always thought that Zoe was a bit of a mare bag, to be perfectly honest with you. So if anything, she's actually been written quite consistently because she wasn't that nice a person back in the day, I would argue.
No, true. But yeah, she's not helped herself, has she? Like, for an audience to like her.
This week, I mean, she rivals Lucy in terms of the amount of one person getting beaten up in one day.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's a great catfight between her and... there's a great catfight between her and Vicky, where Vicky smacks her twice in one fight.
I would not mess with Vicky.
Telling you, that girl is fire. I love Vicky. Yeah. And then Sharon smacks her really hard around the face later on in the week as well. Fully deserved, all three of them, I would argue.
Yeah, fully deserved for Sharon, because Sharon were ready to just be like, let's let bygones be bygones and be quite, civil about the entire thing. Sharon
is back. Hurrah! Missed her so much. Sharon is back. Fantastic. Great to have her back. She steps out of the taxi and instantly lays eyes on Zoe, which I can't imagine was a great moment for her. Like, can you
No,
imagine?
can you imagine? You've just been on, what, a 24-hour flight or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
and all of a sudden...
We're the child as well.
Yeah, and all of a sudden that cow standing... I mean, Zoe's such a mare. She would, like, anybody else would see Sharon and sort of, like, kind of respectfully back off a little bit. But no, Zoe doesn't. She's standing there with her cup of coffee, almost steps forward, just like, all right. And it's like, she's such a cow.
Zoe, if you think about that, Zoe were expecting to see Sharon at some point anyway. Sharon was not expecting to see Zoe, was she?
No.
I think they mentioned as well that Vicky hadn't mentioned it to her. She's like, could
yeah,
have warned me. She's like, well,
I didn't think you'd come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sharon's not thrilled. She decides at first, though, to sort of be like, they have some words, but she decides at first, you know what? Too much water under the bridge. I've had too much of a year for this as well. Let's just let bygones be bygones. I managed to forgive Chrissy, who actually did kill Den. Yeah. So I'm sure I can do it with Zoe as well. All right, that's fine. That lasts the grand total of about 12 seconds, however.
Yeah, literally.
Because, yeah, she ends up having this great fight with Vicky. I mean, I was kind of like, I think Vicky did start that, to be fair.
I think they both kind of started it. They bumped into each other, didn't they? And then it was just one of those where don't walk into it, don't walk into it.
Yeah. And
they were
then,
both in a bad mood for different reasons as well.
Yeah, I mean, and then it just sort of escalates. Zoe pushes Vicky on the floor. I'm not quite sure why Vicky ended up like she was holding her head like with an ice pack or something at the front, as if she'd been spanked. I'm not quite sure where that came from.
Maybe Zoe, she banged her head when she fell on the floor a bit.
Maybe. Yeah. Zoe, however, does not leave that fight as the winner, I would say.
I agree. Neither does Zach somehow.
No, Zach ends up getting smacked in the face as well, doesn't he?
I loved that though, that Vicky just kept pushing Zach off her like.
Gosh, get off me. She doesn't care, does Vicky? I love her.
But that would annoy me. You know, if I were trying to, not that I ever have fights.
Oh, so what? If you were trying to be violent, really? Yeah.
Should I want to be really violent? Having a man hold me back when I'm like that angry, that'd just pee me off even more.
Just stop trying to get you stopped. What? A man stepping forward and saying, "Do you know what? Let's not get you hurt." There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'd be less likely if it were another. I don't know. It'd just be my rage.
Oh, so you don't mind hitting a bloke, but you. It's tricky.
See what I'm trying to do, Rob.
You do it to me all the time. Shut your face. So that doesn't end well for Zoe, I would say. Yeah. And yeah, she ends up like with an ice pack on her face and all that kind of thing. And then
quite happy about it as well.
What she does, she's not bothered. She's really proud of herself. Anthony and Zoe, meanwhile, let's just briefly discuss that. Anthony decides to make a move on Zoe this week. This does, to me, fuel the theory that Anthony is in some way connected to these kids, I would say. Yeah. Because why is he back, is my thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's he for, other than this?
The only other thing I think that he could be back for is just that Zoe's going to be part of a triangle with him and Max, and it's going to be, angel on one shoulder, devil on the other.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know how long Anthony's back for. This is the thing. They've not said that he's back permanently. They've not said that it's a guest stint. True. So it's sort of up in the air what Anthony's purpose is at the moment. Yeah, obviously he came back for Yolandi and Patrick's wedding, but we're not sure what his ultimate kind of purpose is. And it does sort of feel that Zoe could have had sex with him off screen. It does work.
Yeah.
It works a lot better than what she comes up with later in the week, I would say. So, So, Sharon, as soon as she discovers that Zoe has laid a finger on Vicky, storms around to the Vic and says, right, I was prepared to let it all the rest, but you're a cow. And at that point, Zoe says, well, actually, I was after money because I'm looking for my son. And do you know who the daddy is? It's Dennis. Now, this is bollocks, right?
Yeah, absolute bollocks. If you've ever heard bollocks in your life, it's this.
I mean, right, so have you seen the scenes that she's talking about?
Yeah.
Right, so
where Zoe and Dennis are having their final conversation before Zoe leaves. Yeah.
Dennis could not stand her at this point, right?
And
of course he did. Why wouldn't you after what Zoe did to him,
Innit?
And so the scene, if you haven't seen it, is basically the pair of them sort of trying to have a fairly adult conversation. There is absolutely no way that they had sex at that time. No way whatsoever.
Absolutely no. Adamant about that.
We are adamant that this did not happen.
They
definitely did not. I mean,
if you rewatch that scene,
I don't
understand in any scenario where that would have possibly happened.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
No.
And I do wonder. I mean, the problem with the internet now is like if they try and do something like this, the viewers can instantly turn around and go, "Well, that's wrong. That doesn't happen at all," because they can just provide the clips. Which I also kind of think that the way Kat didn't necessarily believe her later on in the week makes me kind of think that actually she is lying and she just wants to use Sharon for money.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
So prior to this supposed revelation to Sharon, she said to Kat that there's several men it could be, and she don't know who the actual father is, which I actually believed that
Yeah,
even
I
Zoe
believe.
didn't know.
Which I
Yeah,
think is the thing that's fueled this thing that I
yeah,
can't pronounce theory, with the
yeah.
two fathers, two
The two
twins sort of
fathers.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but 100% it's not Dennis. It can't be. There's no
No.
way. There is no way
No, I mean,
whatsoever.
arguably, Rob, they could retcon, not wouldn't even need to be a retcon. Zoe could say, oh, we were arguing at first, but then,
Ripping
it
each other's
was one
clothes
last
off.
time for old times. Yeah, she could though.
She could, but it
Whether
would be
we
bollocks.
wouldn't believe it though either, would
No.
we?
Well, no, because we've got visual evidence that did not happen. All right.
But we haven't technically. Did we then see them at the end of that argument? We didn't see them then walk straight downstairs there. Arguably, playing
There,
devil's advocate. I don't think it is that at all, and I think it's absolute bull. But
yeah, I
playing
mean,
devil's advocate.
there is no way that Dennis would have done that to Sharon at that
No,
point in their
no,
relationship whatsoever, especially once he just discovered about what was going on between Den
yeah,
and Zoe. Not a chance.
no. And plus, all of this, the fact that Zoe's quite to us clearly lying to Sharon
Mm.
is going to cause way more drama down the line.
Yeah,
After she's allowed Sharon to pay for the
yeah,
PI and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, and then for Sharon to then find out, oh, she was lying.
Did you?
Zoe could just claim, oh, I wasn't sure. I thought it could have been Dennis's, and then it'll all come out. Actually, no, there was no way it could have been.
Yeah, no way. Did you? What did you think about Sharon's reasoning as to getting involved with this? Because actually, I was sort of like Zoe at first was saying like, "Yeah, I'll get the money off Sharon somehow." No idea how she was going to manage that before Sharon turning around and saying, "Yeah, I'll pay for it." Like, how
Yeah,
would she
same.
ever have persuaded Sharon to do that?
But I think everyone knows, how much Sharon was in love with Dennis, and
Love of
even
her life,
Zoe
I would
thought,
say. Love of her life.
yeah, literally. So, from Sharon's reasoning, actually did make sense. Later, when Kathy said it to her and
Mm.
said to her, like, wouldn't you like to know and don't you want to save the kid from Zoe kind of thing? I think that sparked something in Sharon's brain where she's like, I heard Dennis's kid, like,
What would you do?
something. What if I'd found out my partner had slept with
Yeah.
someone else 20 years ago? Well,
If he's
no.
dead, if he's dead now, that's what Let's put all the caveats in place. Would you want to
I don't
find
know
out?
though,
Would you
because
want to find this kid?
arguably, well, in Sharon's situation though as well, she's probably thinking that's Dennis's half sibling as well.
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument where
Dennis.
you could say actually what they're doing, if this is true, which I don't think it
Mm,
is, but
yeah.
there's an argument that you could say what they're actually trying to do is sort of mend the mistake of killing off Denny in a lot of
Yeah,
viewers'
yeah,
minds. I couldn't have cared less that Denny died, I have to say, but there's a lot of people that sort of like think it's one of the biggest mistakes the show ever made, which is fine. I get it because heritage and all that
yeah,
kind of thing. I get it, but
yeah,
you could argue that they're trying to fix that, but I just do not think that this is true. It can't be true because Zoe is
no.
too much of a manipulative cow for this to be true at this stage, I think.
Yeah, I mean, why would she? It's obviously not. Why would she say to Kat earlier in the week, I don't know who the
Mm,
father is,
yeah.
to
Kat doesn't
then
believe
say
her
to
either.
Sharon, which Kat said to her herself,
Yeah,
didn't she?
yeah.
And then
Kat
Zoe
doesn't
said, "Oh
believe
well,
her.
no." Well, does Kat believe her?
I don't think she
I feel
does
like she's. You
because they
you
went
think she's letting
upstairs.
Zoe go along with the lie there? Because surely I feel like Kat would just call her out and go, "I know you're lying, Zoe. You can't do this to Sharon. It's
See,
not right."
the thing is, I think she would do that, but she doesn't want to lose Zoe because I feel like Zoe at this
Mm,
stage is actually using Kat as well. Like she's
mm,
using Kat's like kind of she's using Kat wanting to keep hold of her to make Kat do what she wants,
mm,
what she needs her to do. Kat has already amazingly turned around and said, "No, I'm not giving you the money for this. That's insane." Whereas I think Zoe knows that if Kat pushes her anymore, she's well within what she perceives to be her right
yeah,
to
yeah.
walk off
To
and
just
just
walk
sort of
off, yeah.
yeah. So she's using Kat for that. I mean, the way that she is with Sharon later, that scene in the calf where she was like, "Yeah, well, I do enjoy taking your things." She's a bitch. She really
Ain't she?
is. She's
Yeah, but she doesn't care because Zoe is such a victim that she
mm,
feels entitled to what Sharon's got. She walks in and she's like, oh, nice handbag, like, oh, designer handbag. She's not going to miss this, $3,000 that it's going to cost for a PI. Sod her.
She's
I
a
don't
victim.
care.
Like, it's amazing that, like, the
She
amount
did
of
take
trauma...
Dennis from her as well.
Yeah,
Like,
this is what I
Sharon
mean.
did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she holds a grudge, like, big style to Zoe. Like, she holds a grudge like nobody else. And
She's a victim, yeah.
she is a victim because, actually, the amount of trauma that had to happen to other people in order for Zoe to be here is completely and utterly irrelevant in Zoe's head. It's the fact that all of that trauma, because it's related to her, becomes her trauma, I think is what her mindset is.
Yeah,
like, she is...
I agree. Like, what, everything that happened to Kat, yeah, well...
Yeah.
She's not very sympathetic towards Kat.
No, in fact, if anything, she almost blames Kat for that, I think, in some way.
Yeah. She's like, why did you have me then? Why would you put that on me?
Yeah, she's a piece of work, I would say, is Zoe.
She needs help. Bless her.
She does need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just I don't get me wrong, I love that she's back, and I think she's a fascinating layered character, and I like the fact that they're not trying to make her that likable, because actually,
do you think she's getting a bit Janina? This is something Janina do. This kind of level
a little bit. I mean,
yeah,
she is kind of going slightly into Super Bitch territory here, but then if you think about what she tried to do with Den and Dennis, it's not true. It's not beyond the realms for Zoe, I don't think.
No. And she is. So this is like the desperation chat that we kind of had with Howie. Zoe's got a good reason for it, though. She is this desperate to find a son.
Yeah.
That she's not bothered that she's lying to Sharon about it, because in her eyes, I need to find this money I need this money somehow to find my son.
Yeah. But then I also keep going back to that bad bloodline. And it's sort of like, actually, this does fit into that.
What, being Dennis's?
Yeah. It does.
Now, I'm adamant now. I've got it in my head that we're about it.
Yeah.
I won't even say it. Like, I'm genuinely saying, but I am adamant that it's more to do with Zoe's blood.
Personally said that on
YouTube.
What have you started with this? This is a running joke.
That's it. We could never use that word.
Never use it. Oh no, we will now overuse this word.
But I do think that bad bloodline was about her own blood now. I'm wondering if that's what it actually was. Because if she's saying she doesn't... Oh, was she lying when she said to Kat, I don't know who the father is, and she does actually know. And she just doesn't want to say.
I kind of think she does. I think she does. I think she knows full well. I think she knows full well who it is, but she's just not telling anybody. Because actually, it works better for her, for everyone to sort of be running around trying to fix her life, basically.
But I do think the bad bloodline was about her, because of that line that she said to Kat about I'm an incestuous rape baby. She sees that as her own blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Sharon has ultimately agreed to pay for the detective. How well is this going to go, do you reckon? Because... I mean, I like the fact that Zoe turned around and said, like, "Oh, I've got an instinct for this sort of thing. I know this detective is telling the truth." It's like, are you having a laugh, Zoe? After everything that happened with Greg,
my gut's great.
Yeah, my gut's great. I believe my gut totally over everything. It's like, no, Zoe, you should. Took
it to Greg Dillon.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that really worked out for you last time, didn't it? Yeah. So, is this going to work?
I mean, I think Sharon would be getting her own PI and she's paying for it. To be fair.
Yeah.
It were interesting how they'd got Zoe had written all the details on a little scrap of paper to give to Sharon, so Sharon could be like, is this for real? Are you for real? Yeah, I'm going to be checking over this person. Sharon will know people. Sharon
should just get Richie. We saw Richie for the first time in ages this week.
That would make sense though, because Richie just bailed Zoe out as well, so why not?
It wouldn't be the first time that Richie's got... Richie has been proven to have a big database on people we've seen. Like, Richie has found people before.
Who was that PI who Anna hired when she was looking for Rose?
He was hilarious.
Gabe.
Something like that. Gabriel, I think his name was. Yeah. He was hilarious. He used to just like step out from bushes and things. I liked him.
Yeah.
Like secret squirrel. So I'm not pinning too many hopes on this detective finding anything, because I feel like ultimately, whoever these children turn out to be, they're going to be somewhat involved in the square somewhere.
Yeah, we've already seen them somehow, maybe.
Yeah, or we're about...
Do you know it's area we've not discussed, by the way, that is quite big online? That it's Jada.
Yeah,
daughter.
I've seen this a lot, and I'm sort of like, I don't know if I don't know is the honest answer. I feel like Jada's kind of done. I feel like she isn't a character that the show has any particular interest in revisiting. I could be wrong. I'm not
But
adamant.
she has
I
got Denny's son, and you're
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
that heritage,
Yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah.
heritage to the show and everything. And
Yeah,
because it is a
yeah.
bit odd that we haven't seen her since when Sharon's got this
Yeah, I mean
grandchild.
she's kind of been relegated to sort of useful off-screen character that Sharon can
Yeah,
go visit,
go
like
visit.
the
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. It would be interesting. And I'm gonna be like, I liked Jada. I was kind of sad when she left because I thought that she
yeah, I
fitted
didn't
in
mind
quite
Jada.
well. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind seeing her again. I don't know. It's not a theory that's kind of jumped to mind straight away with Jada. I don't feel like there is necessarily a connection. I don't get that vibe. But at the same time, you could make it make sense.
We're trying to look for these connections now, aren't we? And it could,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it, but it depends
Mm.
whether we do know her kid or not. But
Mm.
it wouldn't be an Albert Square missing child,
Yeah,
thing if it weren't someone we already knew. So in
exactly. I
some
feel
way.
like we might get some big revelations next week.
Oh,
As soon as Max steps back onto the square, I feel like there might be some answers coming our way. We shall have to wait and see. Gold Star this week, Ray.
I'm trying to have a think, who do I want to give it to? Do I want it? Oh, I feel like I weirdly actually maybe want to give it to Zoe. Just oh no,
Fair.
do you know what? Vicky. I'm
Yeah,
giving it
Vicky.
Vicky
Yeah,
actually.
fair play.
Yeah,
Sharon. I'm just delighted to have her back.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. Sharon and Vicky for Gold Stars this week. Let us know who your Gold Star is going to. And we shall finish the podcast as usual with some news and some comments from you. So, little bit of news before we kick off with comments. It has been officially confirmed that about the documentary that we spoke of a couple of weeks ago
Yes.
relating to Joel's story. EastEnders Investigates the Manosphere is a brand new documentary coming to BBC Three next month, following an ongoing misogyny storyline playing out on the show. The one-off special will air on Thursday, the 9th of October at 8 p.m. I'm very excited about this. This is good. This is good. This is exactly
Good.
what this storyline is supposed to do. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very
Yeah, and
excited.
hopefully it'll get people maybe you don't watch EastEnders will
Mm.
actually want to watch it and so.
It's such a relevant topic, isn't it? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
something that the soap should be doing and should have been doing a long time ago. So I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that this is really being put under the spotlight in just a typical EastEnders way. It's good stuff.
I wonder if they're going to cover any like preventative measures with
I
all of
think so.
this.
I mean, it's
Because I
interesting. Go on.
no, I was going to say I saw probably a TikTok knowing me, but I saw someone post a video saying the way to their way. I don't know how. I don't know whether this is a good idea, but I understand the logic. The
Yeah.
way to stop like kids seeing it is actually to show it them from a younger age, but talk them through it and
Yeah.
explain to them why it's all wrong. So
Well,
basically, like I guess desensitize them to it early
yeah,
on,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
they don't discover it on their own accord and have
Yeah.
nobody explain to them why it's wrong.
I was watching I think it was LBC that was doing it. Like one
Mm.
of their investigative journalists was kind of went on TikTok and pretended to be a 13-year-old boy and was sort of
I
looking at
guess I've
what
heard about
TikTok,
this.
yeah, and like sort of looked
Mm.
at what TikTok sort of spat out in terms of the
Mm.
algorithms. And it did not take long for this sort of stuff to just start coming up naturally on TikTok. So it's so easy for the kids to discover this sort of
Scary.
stuff. Yeah, it's really, really scary. So
Mm.
hopefully this documentary is going to sort of explore all of that. And like you say, talk about preventative measures and redeemable ways of sort of pulling your kid out of it. I do feel that Joel is too far gone to be redeemable. And I feel like the point of Joel is to show us how bad it can get
Yeah.
rather than pulling, because I don't think he can be redeemed at this point, can he?
No.
No.
No. I'd literally not at all, I don't think.
No.
Tommy can, definitely, because I
Yeah,
don't feel
Tommy
like Tommy's
can.
as far down the rabbit hole at
No.
all.
No, but Joel
Tommy's just
is
kind of
there.
agreeing, so he's got a mate, rather than
Yeah.
him actually really believing it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great storyline. I'm so pleased that they're doing this. Comments this week, Ray.
We've got a comment here from Chris Shaw who says, great cat fight between Zoe and Vicky. Reassuring to know she can handle herself if Joel tries anything.
Well, see, that's very different, though, isn't it? It is very
Yes,
different.
this
Like
is what I'm thinking.
we know, of course, that Vicky can handle herself in a fight. We know that. In fact, if anything, she looks forward to handling herself in fights. But as far as Joel is concerned, I think that it's just a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
This is what I'm thinking. Like, I think that's going to be part of the point is that we're going to see this character Vicky, who we've seen can handle herself in fights and stuff, won't be able to handle herself when she's
Yeah.
potentially in a different position.
Bobby James Barnes has said, I liked the scene with Ian, Sharon, and Kathy. Felt like old times. I loved that scene. I meant to mention it earlier. Like just the three oldest characters just talking
Hmm.
about the old days, sussing Angie, and all of them being there for different points in each character's history. I love it when the show does that. And like I always say, no soap does it better than EastEnders because EastEnders is the soap that respects its own history more than any other soap, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I liked I even liked the scene with Ian and Sharon beforehand where we were saying, we're
Mm,
family. We're
yeah.
family. Remember the Christmases with all the
Yeah.
Fowlers and the Beals and the Watts.
Yeah,
We're all
I mean,
family, aren't
it's
we?
you could look at Ian and Sharon now and say, how did those two fix what went wrong between them? But at the same time, it's sort of just like, of course they have fixed it, and I think
Yeah.
they've just sort of swept it under the carpet, which was the right thing to do because the whole thing with Ian and Sharon poisoning carbonara was madness. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that they've sort of managed to move past it. So and it
Yeah.
gives us these amazing scenes where you just literally tune in to watch a history lesson of EastEnders when those three start
Yeah.
talking to one another. It's great.
We've got another comment here from Georgina Berry who says, great name by the way. I don't think Dennis is the father of the twins. Zoe was so keen to not tell Kat who it was, even when she was withholding the money. Why would she tell Sharon straight off? Not that I have any certain feeling on who the dad actually could be.
No, I mean I don't think that we can be sure of anything as to who the dad is or
No.
anything like that. But 100%, Georgina, I don't agree that it's not Dennis. It's not
No.
Dennis. There's too
A
much
hundred.
evidence against it.
Mm. I
You're
was
100%.
are we adamant it's
We're
not
adamant. We are
Dennis? Yeah.
adamant. We are adamant that it's not Dennis.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I will put that out there. Um, yeah, I mean, why she said that to Sharon was simply because she wanted to just get back at Sharon and hurt Sharon. That was all
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
was. Just Zoe being a cow.
And also get Sharon's money because she
Yeah,
thought that could be a possibility that Sharon would want to help find Dennis's child. So
yeah,
win-win for Zoe, isn't it? So go on then,
absolutely.
Rob. Who do you think is the father?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm leaning towards Anthony just because I'm sort of like,
Mm,
what's the point of him at the moment? At the minute,
yeah.
like,
But
yeah,
then
I
is he a
get.
red herring?
I think he might be. You know, it's possible. But if I had to if I had to nail it to the wall, I would say at this point, I think it's Anthony.
Same, same.
Kathy Vernon Kettner says, at this moment, I don't think we can trust what Zoe says. Even when Zoe says something to Kat and makes a promise on that something, it doesn't feel like she's being honest. Zoe has walls built around her that I don't know will come down this soon. I mean, this is the other thing with Zoe. I don't believe a word she says about anything.
This is it, isn't it? Like, she's still not told anyone about Max, and she knows full well that they all know who he is,
Mm,
including Stacey.
yeah,
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, it's Stacey who said it as well a few times to Kat, and she like, you can't trust anything that comes out of her mouth,
you
which
can't.
is
You
no,
can't
you
at
can't.
all. And it's actually sort of like I sometimes get confused about what's true and what's not with Zoe because I'm sort of like,
Yeah,
is she telling the truth now? Like, I has she told the truth to anybody? Like, I feel like the only stuff that we know to be true is stuff that we have seen happen. Like, I would have doubted the Greg stuff if we hadn't have actually seen it with our own
true.
eyes. You know, it's she's
Yeah,
just that
very
sort of
true.
character.
Yeah, maybe then when Max is back, he'll be the person that we see all the truth with. Like that'll be the person she
Yeah,
actually speaks the truth to,
I
perhaps, or
think.
Anthony. To be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I think next week we are going to get some revelations, and I think that Zoe is going to come unstuck next week, and it'll be interesting to see Kat's reaction to it all. Because at this moment, I feel like Kat isn't like when she was sat there goading Sharon. I feel like Kat could have stepped in a lot sooner than she did. Like, yeah, Sharon slapped her, and that's when Kat kind of stepped in. But I feel like Kat could have said something a lot sooner because she was sort of almost looking at Zoe almost sort of worried, a little bit ashamed. I thought
Yeah.
like it's not going to
But
take
it's like you
much.
said, she don't want to risk her doing a runner, does she? So she's
No,
trying to play it so carefully. I actually feel really sorry for Kat.
I do. She's stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's Kat
Mm,
because she's sort of like she's almost sort of accommodating Zoe's behavior at this point.
yeah, which is tricky because obviously she does. It's almost enabling as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Like in some ways, but maybe that's a good thing, you know. At least she knows what she thinks is the truth and that, so she
Mm,
can try and hopefully use it to her advantage down the line.
we shall see. That's it for this week, ladies and gents. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do the following.
You can find us on Facebook at Albert Square After Dark, on Twitter and Instagram at E20 After Dark. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can listen to us on Apple and wherever you find your podcasts. Drop us an email at e20afterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do so by going on buymeacoffee.com/E20 After Dark.
Yes, you can indeed. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Next week, the return of Max Branning. I suspect it's going to be a messy one.
I can't wait for it. I hope it is.
I can't wait. As even outside of the Zoe stuff, Oscar and Max, that's going to be great to watch.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, of course. Oh,
yes.
Can't wait.
And I feel like there's going to be some little revelations around that as well. Like we don't know a huge amount about Max and Oscar's relationships and what's gone on there. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. Bring it on. And you can join us for the fallout from that next week. Until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.